Hello and welcome. Dear students, today we are going to discuss the scientific notation, and the other name of this is also the standard form. In mathematics, sometimes we have to deal with very large numbers or very small numbers. Then it is very important for us to convert them or write them in the powers of 10 so that we can understand very well. Before I go to the definition of scientific notation, I give you an example and then I'll be define or go for the definition of scientific notation. For example, if I have a number 6275, I can also write this number as, if I multiply this number, for example 6275, if I multiply with 10 and also divide with 10, then this number can also be written as, if I use this 10 for putting a decimal sign, for example this 0 is for 5 and when 1 goes it makes a decimal sign here, then it will become 627.5 multiplied by 10 power 1. If we multiply this 627.5 with 10, we again will receive this number. You can verify it with the help of your calculator. If I again divide this number 6,275, this time I am multiplying it by 100, then I will also have to divide it by 100, because when we are going to multiply a number from our own, we will have to divide the number with the same number so that they cancel each other and there is no effect on the numbers which is given. So if I use the number in the denominator for putting a decimal sign, for example this 0 is for 5, this 0 is for 7, when in place of 1 I will put a decimal sign, so this number can be written as 62.75, and 100 can also be written as 10 to the power 2. This is another way of writing the same number 6275. Now I again simplify this number. Now this time I will divide this number 6275 by 1000, and I will also multiply it by 1000. So what will happen, I will use these numbers 1000 by putting a decimal sign in the above number. This 0 goes for 5, this 0 goes for 7, this 0 goes for 2, and this one goes for the decimal sign here. So this number can be written as 6.275 into this 1000 can be written as many zeros are there, I will put the number, there are 3 zeros, I can write it 10 to the power 3. So this number can be written as 6.275 into 10 to the power 3. If I divide this number, I write here 6275. If this time I divide it by 4 zeros with 10, that is 10,000, and I will have to multiply with the same number so that there is no effect on the number which is given, that is 6275. Now what will happen this time, this 0 goes for 5, this 0 goes for 7, this 0 goes for 2, this 0 goes for 1, goes for 6, and 1 goes for the decimal here, and usually it is a common notation that we write zeros before the decimal if there is no any other number. So this number can be written as 0.6275, and there is 10,000, there are 4 zeros, I can write it as 10 to the power 4. So up till now what we have discussed, I repeat it again. We had a number 6275. We converted this number in the form of this number. I write it 1. It was 627.5 into 10 to the power 2. And also we converted this number in the second form when I divided it by 100 and multiplied by 100. It was 62.75 into 10 to the power 2. Then I divide the same number 6275 by 1000, and I also had to multiply it by 1000, and this time I got this third number 6.275 into 10 to the power 3. And next time I divided the number actual number, which was 6275, I divided it by 10,000, so I had to multiply 10,000, where I used this number 10,000 as putting a decimal sign, so it became 0.6275, and since there were 4 zeros here, it was written as 10 to the power 4. This is the fourth form of the same number 6275. It means that we can write this number in either first form by multiplying with power of 10 with the power of 1, and then 10 with power of 2, and thirdly 10 with power of 3, and fourthly 10 with power of 4. Now out of these four forms, just this third form, this when there is only one digit before the decimal, here it is only one digit, non-zero digit especially, here is the zero digit. It is not a standard form or scientific notation. Here there are 2 digits before the decimal, here there are 3 digits before the decimal. Then scientific notation or the standard form is only one when there is one digit, one non-zero digit before the decimal. So 6.275 into 10 to the power 3 is the scientific notation of writing this number 6275. So this is the scientific number, and this is the way how can we write numbers in scientific form or standard form. Now I go to the next slide and we go for the definition. This is a definition of scientific notation. That is, I read it for you. In scientific notation, a number is expressed some power of 10 multiplied by a number between 1 and 10. If I write the previous slides, which it was 6.275 into 10 to the power 3. So here it is written as some power of 10, a number is written as some power of 10, here it is the power of 10, and multiplied, this is the multiplication sign, by a number between 1 and 10. This 6.275 is a number between 1 and 10. I explained it earlier that before the decimal there should be only one non-zero digit. It cannot be 0 before the decimal, or it cannot be more than one digit, then it will not be a standard form or the scientific notation. So along with the definition, we must understand how to write the large numbers in a standard form. I will tell you another method which is very easy to write a very large numbers in more simplest form or the standard form. I go to the next slide. Here some questions are given. Before I go to these questions, I want to explain the previous example which I took previously. That, for example, I had the numbers which I solved previously for you. It was 6275. I wrote it in different form. I also want to write it in different form, and then I will write it also in a scientific notation. First of all, you will have to see where is the decimal. If there is no decimal in an expression or in a number, then the decimal will be after the last digit. So decimal is here. If you bring the decimal one digit towards left, then what will happen? This number will become 627.5. Since I have moved the decimal one digit towards left, Then I will write multiply 10 to the power 1. I had moved it just one digit, so I will have to write 10 power 1. If I move this decimal, not one digit this time, but this time two digits, then this number can be written as 62.75 into, since this time I have moved the decimal two digits towards left, so two digits means 10 to the power 2, so I will write 10 to the power 2. If I move this decimal three digits 1, 2 and three digits towards left, then this number will become 6.275 multiplied by 10 to the power 3. So out of these three, just this one, 6.275 10 to the power 3 is a standard form or the scientific notation, because there is only one non-zero digit before the decimal. Here there are two digits before the decimal, here there are three digits before the decimal, so these two are not the standard form of the scientific notation, just this one is the standard form of the scientific notation. So just without doing a large calculation, which I did in a slide 1, we can just move the decimal towards left after one digit, two digit or three digit. How many digits you have moved the decimal, you will write that number as a power of 10. I hope you must have got through it. Now I go to the questions which are written here on this slide. I will solve it for you. I take pen. Now it is written as the sun is 150 million kilometers away from the earth. Then I will write 150 and million. There are 6 zeros in a million, 3 and then 3 zeros more. So this is how we have written this form. As an ordinary whole number, we have written it in ordinary whole numbers. In B part, we are asked to write this in scientific notation. So in scientific notation, I told you earlier, there is only one zero before the decimal, and we also write the complete number in the powers of 10. First of all, we see whether there is a decimal point in this number or given number or not. There is no decimal point. It means the decimal point is at the end of the statement. I will move this decimal point towards left till I reach 1, before 1, so that we should be left with only one non-zero digit before the decimal. For example, I move here, this is 1 digit, 2 digit, 3 digit, 4 digit, 5 digit, 6 digit, 7 digit and 8 digit. I will put the decimal sign here, so it will become 1.5. Since I had moved this number towards left 8 digits 8 times, so I will write 10 to the power 8. So this can be written as 1.5 into 10 to the power 8. Now we go to the next question. Write the numbers given below in scientific notation. Now we are given the number here. After 3 there are 3 and 3 6 and 3 9 zeros are there. It is very easy to write this number in scientific notation because there is only one digit here. We will write 3 as it is, and there are 9 zeros. I will write 10 to the power 9. Since there is only one digit before the decimal, or we can write it as 3.0 into 10 to the power 9, or just 3 into 10 to the power 9. Now I go for our next example. This is 64 and there are 5 zeros before it, and it is meter. 64 with 5 zeros. I have to write in standard form or scientific notation. First of all, I will locate where is decimal. There is no decimal here. I will put decimal at the end and move this decimal towards left. 1 digit, 2 digit, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So this number can be written as 6.4. Since I had moved 6 digits, so 10 to the power 6 it will be. These were the examples in which we had written the numbers in the power of 10, but this power of 10 this time were positive. Now there are two examples, the part C and D, where these powers or the exponent of 10 will become negative, and this is the reverse process which we have done here in these examples. I erase these. Then I write the numbers here. This number is 0. And there are 2, 4, 6 and 8 zeros. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros and 1 6, and the unit with it is written with it is gone. So we will have to move this decimal, and we will move here. Okay, here between 1 and 6 I will put the decimal. So I will count that how many digits I have moved the decimal towards right this time. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8 and this time 9. So I will write this number as 1.6 into 10 to the power this times negative 9, because I am now moving in the reverse direction. Previously I was moving from right to left. This time I moved from left to right. I go for another example. This is the part D. It is written as 0.000. There are 4 zeros and 5, 4, 8, and the second is the unit which is written here. I will have to move this decimal after the first non-zero digit 5. Between 5 and 4 I will have to put the decimal. Now let's see how many digits I had to move. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 digit. So I will write 5.48 into 10 to the power negative 5. Why negative 5? Because I have moved from left to right. Previously I moved from right to left, it was a positive exponent. Now since the number is very small, it is 0.000, you can see it very small, so it had a power of negative 5. So in this video we have discussed what is the scientific notation and the standard form, and what is its need, and how we can write a very large number or very small numbers in scientific form. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.